I was introduced to Babaji formally by a great Siddha called Siddhar Tirumular. That was a later happening, where it's like a formal process, let's say, where I was introduced formally. So Siddha Tirumular is again a very great Siddha Purusha. He is a strong guiding force. Now, that's why when we say Agasthyar, Bhogar, Tirumular, Babaji, for us, we don't have we don't have a hiccup where this means that person is out. Not like that at all.
It's like a guru is one.
Guru is one. Guru is definite.
Because the principle is one, and you don't see this versus that.
This versus that. But still, Guru is also specific.
Yes.
No, Guru is Kriya Babaji.
Yes.
No doubt about it. But all this whole, that's why we say Guru Parampara. It's like a, because many people can start taking interest.
Yes.
Because you are devoted to Loka Sangraha. Right? It is like that. And all well-meaning. Not a problem at all. Because your thing is fixed. So by the second time I went, before that I visited Palani, and then I was shown poha.
Okay. Yeah, you mean.
Yes. So that gave me, that was a huge discovery. Because otherwise to cook, to eat, then if you cook, you'll be wasting food because sometimes you'll be hungry, you'll not be hungry. And time does not matter because you're cut off from the world in terms of practical interaction. So this, I was introduced to the Siddha superfood, so to say.
Yeah.
So that is aval puttukadla. You know, puttukadla is roasted chenna. Without salt, it's very tasty, nutritious, and you can have it any time of the day and night, but it will not disturb the doshas, vata, pitta, kapha. So like that, I had a beautiful time. That was the second stint of 40 days. Then, by that time, the need for an ashram emerged. Already people started living with us. So by 2015, we identified the ashram space. We were directed, in a divine manner by Murugan. Muruga Perumal directed us to this place. This is a very holy place. This is a Siddha Kshetra, where Ivyarmalai, not well known in this yuga, but otherwise a very powerful sthala. So when we, Palani is just 15 kilometers from here. So this is very much within the Murugan Adikam, we say. The Murugan is the Adhipati.
Like a Murugan Kshetra, like a Parshunama Kshetra.
Yes, this is a Murugan Kshetra. So we were directed here. And that's how, the rest of the journey. Then I had further opportunities for tapasya. The hill is accessible. There are caves in the hill. As one invests in it, it is just like a scientist. From a 10th standard view, a 12th standard might seem like that's it. From 12th standard perspective, college will seem like that's it. After that, I'm earning. But once one starts earning, it grows further. Like that, a scientist, initially a budding scientist might think, if I discover this is it. That's it. But that further emerges further areas of research.
So in this scheme of your personal development journey, spiritual journey, where did you get this inspiration for, say, Gurukula? And where does that fit?
Yes. So, again, this is a mix of inner and outer. So, generally, our distinction between inner and outer is very, very strong. But for me, that was not the case. So, there would be, in Siddha literature, for example, there is something called Arudam or Sagunam. There will be clues in the external reality, which is matching your inner state. And those are clues for decisive actions. So that way, see, we were definitely involved in education because that's the main thing that we could think of. We were already teachers, and with the ashram setup, we were initially busy setting up, it periodically emerges. But at a certain stage, we definitely felt moved, especially after the COVID. Post-COVID, many people used to talk to us. And from that, what we could learn was that there is a significant gap. So we had tried creating a Gurukulam called Paravidya Gurukulam, along with the late Padma Shri Dr. P.R. Krishna Kumar Ji of Aryaveda Pharmacy in Coimbatore. that had not taken off for whatever reason.
Mm.
But post-COVID, we definitely saw that so many people were suffering.
Mm.
And suffering, again, to define suffering is very tough because you need a lot of context to be able to see that, oh, I'm stuck.
Because at the material level, it may not be suffering.
It may not be suffering at all.
Yeah.
Right? So, but we could see, and hence that was very important motivation. We always go by, connect. When we connect with people,
Yes.
the people, what they request of us, we take it seriously.
So it is at the level of a Loka Sangraha.
Loka Sangraha.
So again, going back to what you said, Dhyan, Dharana, Samadhi, Sanyam,
Yes.
and then Tasya Bhumeshu Viniyogaha.
Yes. Yes.
So practicing that in a Loka Sangraha.
Loka Sangraha.
Context.
And that becomes a natural expression.
Yeah.
It is not so much of, okay, now from this point on, I am going to be like,
let me create a good
not like that. It's a flow.
It's a
no? And motivations are guided by your live interaction with society because you're also part of society. After that, what does Samadhi do? It takes off the boundaries, which are hard and fast, which we have assumed. We have strongly conditioned ourselves. Yeah, that is not so much there. Then a suffering there is a suffering here. You cannot address all suffering, but certain things, depending on your samskara, that means the background that you carry, that you will flow more easily.
Yeah, you are Swadharma.
You are Swadharma.
Yeah.
It's like the path of least resistance, if we can say.
Very good.
So, when you mentioned about, Agasthyar, you definitely said, Canopus. So as a star system, there, if we look at our own Puranas, if we look at, say, for example, Babaji, when many people look at it, they are unable to believe in it. If one cannot believe in Babaji, one can definitely not believe in Agasthyar, for example, because too ancient and current idea of history does not lend credence to such beliefs. Let's say, and the beliefs are not empty because there are textual references and systematic textual references that we have in the Siddha literature, in larger Indian literature, in all bhashas, Bharatiya bhashas, and significantly so in Sanskrit.
You see, if you look at really, I consider what is unscientific, illogical, and idiotic narratives of likes of Yuval Harari, who has become so famous not only outside India but even inside India. Unfortunately, these guys don't go beyond 10,000 and 20,000. So sorry, back to you. But you're talking of different time frames.
Huge time frames.
They are not even digestible.
Yeah.
Okay, because of narratives like this.
Yes, and the narratives that we have depend on the frameworks that we hold, and the frameworks can be limiting or liberating.
Yes.
That's where again the Indian knowledge processes being active frameworks of reasoning, because these are to do with reasoned out process. See, we are not discussing anything mystical or out of reason. This is very much within the frame of reason. Reason gives us the capability to address systematically the challenges that we face. If it is relegated to mysticism, then it is for a few. But the rest have to anyhow fend for themselves. But that's where reason, and reason depends on the corpus, on the agama, or on the, pramana. What do we use? Because reasoning cannot be out of context. And that's where, when you say, dating the Mahabharata or the dates, researchers might disagree by a large range, but that it is dateable.
Yes.
That makes it reasonable.
Yes.
Because if it is not dateable, or then it's not there.
Yes.
It's beyond reason.
Correct.
And beyond reason is not something that can help us.
Correct.
Help society.
Yeah.
Help in Loka Sangraha.
Yeah.
And that's where your work is a very powerful motivation, I believe, for so many young people were here, and including children. All of them I could clearly see whether they understood it or not. Because understanding your level of work and so on, it takes
agama,
background knowledge, and that can be given only, gradually.
Or they have to build it.
Gradually build it, because right now, for example, if we have to access, let's say, higher education of engineering, we build up that profile over a period of 12 years, in a graded manner, after which we access higher education in engineering or medicine or law. But now, with respect to the Indian content, the Puranas or the Shastra, in any Bharatiya Bhasha, we unfortunately have no build-up process. The building up of this, of gradual building up, is left to the individual or maybe the family. Some people are, are beneficiaries of being born in a suitable family environment. But otherwise, formal systems of education don't introduce in a graded manner.
How would they?
Yeah.
See, the mainstream academia even is stuck into such a narrow frame of reference that even Yuval Harari looks like a hero.
Yes.
When he comes up 10,000 years, 20,000
Yes,
years,
yes.
right?
Yeah, because practically, everything else is dated like a few thousand years back.
Yes.
And now even that time frame seems, more than adequate.
Yeah. So what I see as a framework is like, what I call it, grain and chaff separation matrix. So whether you take Siddha literature or our Purana literature, Itihasa literature, Vedic literature, is like an immense repository, and with limited, or I would say also the growing ability in science and technology, we are becoming successful in pulling out certain things. So what I make is, like, for example, the axis, I call it the axis of testability. I call this side, if the testability is yes, that means it's scientific. But people make a mistake. They say if something is not scientific, that means is non-scientific or unscientific. That's not the case.
No, yeah.
It is metaphysical, atarkya, because it cannot be grabbed with the scientific arms that we have.
Yes.
It may change.
Yes.
So truly, in spite of the work by likes of myself or Rupa Bhati or many others have done, it's just scratching the surface. And I see the value only in the sense of Loka Sangraha. Otherwise, people ask me like about this, and I say, you know what? Say debate about dating of Mahabharata. I said 4 billion years from now, it wouldn't be relevant.
Well said. Yes, as you rightly say, your primary motivation really fascinates, because the primary motivation is not for yourself.
Yes.
It's for Loka Sangraha. And that can be a huge motivation given the current scenario of, say, disillusionment amongst young people.
You said it.
Because they want such role models.
Yes.
How do I invest my life? Yeah. What should I invest in? What is the direction? And that direction need not be like a specific pointer, do this, do that, but more like invest in intention towards Loka Sangraha. Or,
in fact, as a litmus test, that's a humorous note. But do you know what I say? Like yesterday's lecture, and some people were taking pictures. And I said, you may take pictures, but if you want the presentation, we will make it available. And this happens everywhere. And everywhere they're taking pictures. I say the same thing, but I add that. I said, by the way, on this note, also remember this. Another speaker comes, but he or she is hesitant to share their PowerPoint presentation. They have not done something original. Otherwise, they would have no hesitation. Nobody can take that originality from them.
Yeah, it's like common knowledge. It's available already.
In fact, I say, like, take my presentation, go to the first page, replace my name with your name, and start talking about it. It's
amazing
knowledge.
Amazing. And that shows the spirit. And when that spirit exists, I feel a lot of the differences based on actual details can be there and can be accommodated.
And they are there for educational
purpose. Yes.
We were having a discussion of how to design, say, people quickly jump and changing textbooks. I said changing textbook is good, but actually we also have an opportunity, maybe not to write the textbooks again. We need to write books, but not the textbook. For example, one of your representative came at Atlanta from all the Anaadi books.
Yes. Manjukesh.
And just I was pulling certain books. Say, for example, you tell them about astronomy, nakshatra system, and then you may bring them to say Mahabharata Ramayana, for example. Instead of saying, oh, and by the way, Nilesh Oak has proved it 5561 BC, you may say there are 100 plus different researchers who have attempted, and the range is from 7000 BC to 400 CE.
Yeah.
And here are some 10 names from recent times. Why don't you go explore and you tell me which one you think is better?
Amazing. And that is the process of education.
That is the process of
that way more people can be inspired to look at this as valid way to live,
Yeah.
valid way to spend their time, energy, and efforts in.
Right.
And that inspiration, I feel, becomes very important for children to have.
Yeah.
And that is one of the reasoning for starting the Gurukulam.
Yeah.
That's where here, the knowledge is fundamentally the source text.
Yes.
So, Ayurveda source text, or I say Ashtanga Hridaya, or the Yoga Sutra, and so on. So, the source text would form the basis.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, modern knowledge process.
Yeah, I saw like a 10 years old student. I don't know exactly his age, but after our lunch today, he brought up this modern context. What is that? India book 2023.
Okay.
And see, he could connect the dots from yesterday's presentation to the map that
Okay.
he saw into this.
Amazing.
So he pulls the map, and this student doesn't know that map is created by me. So he says, look, what you said today, it is here, it is here.
Yeah,
So that's just amazing. Connecting the dots.
Connecting,
Which is what we want to prepare them.
Exactly. Because not everything can be provided to them, but if this inspiration is given, then I think that would be really powerful. And when we talk of inspiration, it's about role models.
Yes.
So that way, we believe you are definitely a role model for at least the students here and the people who are watching this. And a role model does not mean they agree with your results. The role model is about okay, this is a way to live. This is a way to explore. And that's how our rishis, they may not have agreed with each other.
Correct.
But they appreciate who a role model is.
Yes.
And one who inspires everyone along the right lines is doing great seva. So that way, we really appreciate your taking the time to come here
Thank you so much.
and inspiring all of us here.
And I should add a note that I thoroughly enjoyed it. In fact, when many of your Gurujis, they were saying, please, when are you coming? I said, I don't know, but much faster than we think. And when the time is right, nothing can stop us.
Definitely.
And so that time was now. And so thank you very much for welcoming me here, inviting me. I thoroughly enjoyed meeting all the students, all the cows,
Yes.
and visiting these wonderful places.
Yes.
So looking forward to visiting again.
Yes. You're always welcome here. Please consider this your home, and please definitely spend time, because you're an active researcher. You'd be growing in knowledge. We are sure that this vigorous exploration can again and again benefit with new insights. And here, next time, every time you come, I can guarantee that you'll be surprised at the children what they can offer you.
Yes.
So
yes. And so I'm experiencing this. You said consider this place as a home. And again, Aniketa Niradhara. So, once I got rid of the attachment to that,
yes.
Every place is becoming.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So, let us end with an invocation. Om Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.